So I usually don't post responses to feminists since I feel it is a futile endeavor to try to discuss with a movement or a feminist any sort of logic, any sort of logical argument, any sort of logical thinking with them. It is just futile. There is no purpose to it. However, I came across one video which will serve as sort of a platform on which I will destroy and expose the misandry that is inherent in all feminists. And I picked this one specifically because, see, this person defends herself saying, no, well, do you see, I'm a real feminist. I'm not like the others. And about halfway through the video, the misandry starts spewing out. And it is the typical passive-aggressive feminist that says, well, I don't outright say I hate men. I'll even be around them. I just think women are more important, end of story. It's just so simple. It's something that I invite every MRA out there to do. Post responses, talk to the people who watch these videos and expose feminism for the misandry that it is. So, without further ado,
I'm a feminist. Before you turn the video off, just hear me out. I'm not a lesbian. I shave my legs. I wear makeup. I can be a bitch on my period, but I'm not a bitch full stop. And I don't hate men. In fact, most of my friends are men. I love spending time with them.
First off, this is going towards the typical comeback that feminists face about, they're a bunch of lesbian non-shaving women, and anybody who has a brain knows that if feminists were all that way, then it'd be a different scenario altogether. No, feminists are everyone. There are male feminists, there are female feminists, there are lesbian feminists, there are gay feminists. Feminists comes in all shapes and sizes. Another thing is, having male friends does not make a person a non-man hater per se. See, men will shoot themselves in the foot. There are male feminists. The thing is that feminism is something that you do. It is not something that you are. You are either white or black or tall or short or man or female. That is something that you are. You are born that way. You have no choice over it or no control over it. Feminism is a movement. Feminism is a state of mind. Feminism is something that you do on a daily basis. And I can assure you that this woman has absolutely no male friends that are not feminist. I assure you. So it's an insult to people's intelligence to say, well, just because I have male friends, well, that means I don't hate men. No. It's about your actions. You can use men. You can have them around like pets, and you can still hate them. So let's continue.
I think they're awesome. And yet I'm a feminist. How does that work? It's simple. I'm a real feminist. I believe in equal pay for women and for fair employment, whether you can get pregnant or not. I believe in a woman's right to walk the streets in a short skirt without fear of being raped.
Okay, well, by that definition of equal pay, then I am a feminist. The only problem is, see, other women who are not getting pregnant get very upset when women who get pregnant make the same amount of money that they do. Not only that, anybody who doesn't have the chance to go home at a whim gets upset by it. But that aside, you know what? I wish I could walk down the street with my gold chains and the fucking diamonds hanging out and not be worried about people mugging me, but I can't. See, I live in the world as it is. I live in reality. I don't live in La La Land or in Dreamland as things I want them. I wish that I could walk down the street and someone would just hand me money, throw it in the air. I wish. The only problem is, that's not the world we live in. So I get a fucking job. What's your point? I wish rape didn't exist altogether. I wish all crimes, all violence, not just rape like feminists that only care about rape or violence towards women. I wish all violence was gone. What makes that any worse for you? Look, if you're a man and you don't take care of the way that you look when you're going out, you hang out with jewelry or whatever, you're going to get mugged. And as a woman, if you look a certain way, you may entice criminals. That's the way it is. There are actions that you can take to safeguard yourself. There are actions that put you in danger. That does not mean sexism. That is fucking reality. So let's continue.
I believe in a woman's right to a secure, respectful, and fair relationship with a man or with another woman.
We agree there 100%. Nothing to say there. By that definition, I am a feminist. Let's continue.
I don't believe that a woman is defined by the clothes she wears or her biological functions.
I don't believe that a man is defined by the amount of money he makes or his job. I wish the world was different. But you know what? The bottom line is that it is. Men are defined by the jobs, by the suits they wear, by the cars they drive, and by the amount of money in their pocket. That is what matters to women. Is that fair to men? No. But see, if both men and women suffer unfairness, why should we only focus on women? Why is it that the suffering of women, the supposed suffering, because it's not really a suffering, it is just the preference of men. Men prefer women who look better, and we have the right to choose, by the way. Why is it that we have to focus on your supposed suffering? Hell no. Mine is just as bad as yours. You are not more important. Let's continue.
I believe that a woman's body is hers and hers alone, and that no one has the right to violate it, sell it, or tell her how she can and can't use it.
Prostitutes sell their own bodies if that's what you're going to. As far as the abortion issue goes, I'm all for it. I wish that men had a say in what happens to their own fucking child. I can't believe a person who would not agree with that sentence. However, in implementation, that may be more complicated. But to tell somebody, well, you shouldn't or shouldn't have a kid, I consider that to be unjust. However, women do it towards men all the time. They also have the advantage of telling a man whether they're going to be a father or not based on whatever they feel. You know what? Yeah, I'm going to name you a father. Sure, you can't really prove it. I mean, I can't really prove that he's your child, but be it that you have to ask my permission for a fucking DNA test, you're screwed. Again, more injustices that are suffered by men, which you completely ignore.
I believe that women are more than daughters, wives, and mothers. I believe that women are more than breasts, ovaries, and wombs.
I believe that men are more, like I've said before, than wallets, fucking success, or the amount of money they make, or the cars they drive. So what? I think that what you're going with this is about the whole sex object thing. And for that, I have to say this. You know what? I have the right to choose whether I want to be with some fat, ugly woman or not. You cannot tell me who to choose. But if it makes you feel any better, women have the right to choose whether to be with a man-child or with a successful man. And when women make the choice of the successful man over the guy who still lives at home, nobody criticizes them. So, who are you to tell me if I shouldn't be looking at a woman's breast or ass when I'm going to make my decision? Fuck you. The fact is, women do not care for the discrimination of men. And can we actually call it discrimination? When a person decides not to go out with the person who is a loser because he didn't bother to go to school and didn't bother to get a good job, can we really say that that is her fault? That is a pain that he shouldn't have to suffer because he didn't make the sacrifices necessary? Who's at fault? Well, I'm going to continue to go out with only good-looking women. Fuck you and fuck all feminists. Let's continue.
I believe that a woman is not a man's subordinate. I believe that she is her own person, and that she doesn't have to answer to a man, regardless of what their religion says.
As far as that goes, I also agree. I, of course, am an atheist. I would invite you to join atheism and stop trying to change religion. That is another stupid endeavor. I do not hate Christians. I have no feelings towards them. If they want to believe in Christ and God, and that makes them a better person, fine. If you don't agree the way religion is conducted, whether it is because you want to eat a certain food, be it pork or whatever, depending on what religion you are, or you don't want to be considered the follower of a man because of whatever the religion says, then just don't fucking be religious. Get to the point. That is more about the problems with religion, and if we're gonna go down that road, please don't even get me started.
I don't believe that men and women are the same, because we're not.
No, as we all know, men are men and women are men, but only better. That's what feminism says. Of course, you can multitask and you can do... Hell, the only reason women don't rule the world is because men are fucking violent. I know the rhetoric. Get to the point.
We look different. We act different.
Oh, you're a genius.
We think different. And we speak different.
No way.
That doesn't mean that one is inherently superior to the other.
Who the fuck is saying that? Can someone give me an example of people actually saying that? I'm not talking about mathematical, like the president of Harvard, who actually proved that men compose those at the highest level of aptitude for math, and did so through numbers. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who just inherently hate women. Can you show me an example in our modern media of somebody being an actual misogynist, not the mental gymnastics definition of misogynist, by where a man who just disagrees with the woman or so much as interrupts her while she's talking is considered a misogynist? I mean actual woman hating. Nothing? Let's continue then.
A real feminist doesn't want to be better than men.
No, a real feminist is better than men. They believe that inherently, that they don't have to do anything special other than to explain to men that they are inferior to women.
They want to be considered as equal to men in the eyes of society.
Right. Let's start with that. A couple of things you should know. Conscription. You want equality, you're going to have to make the same sacrifices that we do. So, start signing up for selective service. I mean, if you're going to be equal, why haven't you said one thing about the disparity in sentences by which men carry an average of, I believe it's like 8 years or 4 years more for everything from murder to kidnapping? Where's your equality rah-rah dance there? Nothing to say about that, huh?
It really is as simple as that. Or it should be. Feminism has become a joke. Feminism has become a dirty word.
Feminism is not a dirty word. Oh my God. Do we watch? I mean, I understand you're in a different country, but mainstream media is mainstream media, and political correctness is the same internationally. What news channels are you watching? Feminism is not a dirty word, and in your country, it is a beautiful thing to be. Feminism a dirty word? Well, actually, now they call them women's rights group. They don't really say feminism per se. They've kind of evolved into female rights, to make it more, I don't know, pleasing or something. But it is not a dirty word by any means. They've revamped their image. But the message is still the same. There is nothing. Feminism is alive and well, as you clearly prove it.
People have gotten it into their heads that men and women have the same rights, and that we have no reason to complain.
Okay, well, if you could only utter just one, I just want one example. No one ever shines a light on these stupid feminists. They say stuff like we don't have the same rights, and then everybody stays quiet. Ask and wait for a fucking response. Show me where you don't have the same rights. What rights could you want that you do not have? Right to die in wards? Yeah, you don't have that one. Rights to have the same and equal sentences as men? Yeah, well, yeah, you don't have that one either. But you have all rights as far as parenting goes. You have all rights as far as any divorce ever done in the last 10 years. You get everything. One only has to just ask, and it will be given to you. This is what makes me so furious. After all the